लगभग पूरे 24 घंटे की चैट है। 32 मैसेजेस एक्सचेंज हुए हैं।
Can a journalist put out this sort of private information in the public domain in the first place? According to, say, the Puttaswamy judgment, etc., are they liable to anything?
Here's the thing. Uh, when you look at any situation from the prism of facts rather than principle, quite often what arises is that we lean towards the political bias which we have as individuals instinctively. So if I would give an answer on the basis of a particular fact instance of what Arnab is doing or Navika is doing, a lot of people and my friends, and I do have friends who come from the right spectrum, the spectrum of the center right. They would say that, Apar, you're saying this because it's Navika and it's Arnav, but what happens when there's a Nidhi and what happens when there is a Sonia Singh, etc., or Ravish? So here's the thing. I would like to say that the principle holds irrespective of who's the speaker or the journalist here. And what is the principle? There's a very good case actually predating Puttaswamy in which when A. Raja was accused of corruption, okay, and there was a lot of media coverage taking place of the alleged involvement of him as a cabinet minister towards facilitation of telecom licenses in exchange for monetary consideration, kickbacks, etc. That he was actually featured in television shows, but also in magazines. So there was a picture of him with his family, right? And also his child in one. So he approached the High Court and he said that this is impermissible. It's not linked to my actions as a public person. And the court agreed. It's similarly there where the case in which there was a comment on Shilpa Shetty. And it was commented that when she was an actor, prior to her ascent by participating in Big Brother in UK, where she approached the court and she said that I may date 100 men. How is that relevant to my standing as an actor, right? And she approached the court and the court said, yes, you're right. And this is defamatory. It's beyond the bound of what is public interest on a public personality, as much as that extent of comment is fairly wide. So that is the principle. And I think the Puttaswamy judgment is kindly, can be harmonized with this principle very, very easily. Because you see it similarly in R. Rajagopal as well, where this kind of comment which is often being made is with respect to the private conversations of these public personalities, number one, which may be within the context, and I'm not saying that the criminal investigation is not attached to public interest. I'll come to that element also, but a lot of the media coverage has been completely beyond the investigation. It's been with respect to their attire, if they are ordering food, okay, what kind of food they are ordering. All of these things are incredibly personal things, right? And if one says, oh no, it's just a degree of inconvenience and we as people need to know, the nation wants to know, etc. It's a degree of voyeurism and injecting people into another person's life, okay? And causing them annoyance to such a high degree where over a period of time it starts impacting their mental health, and which is why these boundaries are there, even for public personalities. Number one. Number two, if it is within the context of public interest, let's say emerging from the basis of a criminal trial, even then, if you take the logical principle under the Mirajkar judgment that media trials by themselves should not be the basis of influencing actual criminal processes. And we're just at the evidentiary stage right now, and such a large amount of hysteria has been whipped up. So even there, I think so it's fairly disappointing what's been happening. I think further guidance may be found in the Press Council's handbook on media ethics. The Press Council's Handbook on Media Ethics is inapplicable to electronic formats. It's only applicable to newspapers. Even with newspapers, their findings do not attach as decrees of court, so it's not per se enforceable, which is not to say that the process does not have benefits of participation, but we do need something which goes beyond ethics now. I think there's a high point we've reached. And is there law already? Yes, there is law. Under Cable Television Regulations Act, each channel is in fact licensed for broadcast in India. There's also the uplinking, downlinking license, how these signals are sent to a satellite and then they come to our homes. And all of this requires a high degree of adherence to what is called the program code. The program code has actually very vague phrases. It says that you can't actually cause annoyance, offense, irritants. You can't do XYZ things. You can't also report on things which may impact criminal investigations in matters of, say, security, etc. So the program code is fairly broad. I'll look at it much more specific. But the core point is that the powers under that vest with the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, which then on the basis of either a public complaint or suo moto, and it's completely discretionary, has what is called as the Interministerial Committee, the IMC, which exercises control over television broadcast, which may be in entertainment as well as news, and can actually make findings against these kind of channels. Now, if a finding is made more than 3 times of a violation of the program code, the license is revoked. So theoretically, both Times Now and Republic can have their licenses revoked. But this is the theory. And what we see tonight, or may see tonight, or our relatives may see tonight, will be the practice reality. And then it will come through with a Twitter trend. Then the next morning, it will come in a WhatsApp message. And which is why I think the larger digital media ecology also needs to be questioned as much as we look at just broadcast news. And the principle quite often is, can these journalists do it? Should they do it? I think the laws are fairly clear. The ethics standards are present, but what permits them to do it ultimately is not only the absence of state sanction and enforcement of these ethics standards and principles. It is also a very willing public, which is more than eager to consume these items of quote unquote news.